to another Demarcation Media Mega Construx review. Today we have a blast from the past. I feel really weird saying that because this is a set from 2015, and that doesn't feel that long ago, but yeesh, it's been a while. This is a very interesting set. Just rediscovered it recently. I kind of knew about it thanks to Jang, forgot, found it again. This is the Versus Troop Pack. This is a Halo 4/5, mainly Halo 4, I think, multiplayer pack that was apparently a exclusive. I think it was going to be Target or something, and it just didn't really make it to the US. However, there was a bunch of stock on eBay, so I decided to grab one. And yeah, I'm really excited for this for a couple reasons. But yeah, before I get into that, let's go ahead and look at the box. Even though I wasn't collecting Mega when this came out, this blister figure pack style of packaging makes me have very happy flashbacks to going into Dollar Generals and Walmarts and seeing these hanging on the shelves, or similar things anyway. So I really like this. We get to see some of the weapons here, the flags, the red team, the blue team. This is very much a red versus blue type of thing. And then we have our active camo figure, kind of the special figure of the bunch. Got a very nice action sequence here with very weird gravity hammers. There's this extra bit on there that I'm not sure about. Old Mega Bloks logo. Look at that. How many of you guys are getting nostalgia from seeing this? Versus Troop Pack. Nothing much on the sides, just more Mega Bloks logo. Halo 4, Master Chief at the top. Love that armor. And then around the back, we get to see them advertising their new interchangeable armor system, because this came out back when they first started. We get to see all of the Spartans here. Looks really nice. I love seeing the in-game versions. Although, interestingly, I believe this is a render of the actual Mega figure, just based on the way that shoulder is. Then we get to see all of these here. Again, weird grav hammer. And you can see here too, why does the grav hammer have that handle? Mega grav hammers never, ever have that handle. Very weird. Whoa, come back. I kind of almost think that this was re-glued at some point. There's a lot of super glue haze. My guess, because this is from the Chinese resellers, is that a bunch of these got left in the factory, probably because maybe the packaging wasn't put together right or something, and got forgotten, and that's why not many made it to the US. And then it's just been sitting there, kind of apart, and they just glued it back together and sold it. That's my guess. Oh, I tore the backing. I kind of wanted to see that. That's kind of cool. It's just a little bit of a multiplayer set. Oh, I could have just opened it there. Whatever. Oh, the parts are actually contained. This is fun. This is fun opening an old Mega set. They're not quite packaged this way anymore. What the heck? Why are there so many flag head things? Also, just want to get it, or make it clear, the grav hammers are normal grav hammers. They're not something weird. Oh, it's just one. There's just one extra flag head thing. Let's take a look at the instructions real quick. Not that we really need instructions. Oh, I'm so happy. They put the art on here. That's cool. Oh, that's so cool. I'm getting nostalgia and nostalgia happiness from this, and I didn't even collect when this came out. Look at that. Look at that. Really did not need instructions at all, but I'm glad that they did. And then we've got our figures. There's a rocket launcher, blue flag, red flag, Aviator, Orbital, who seems to maybe have some issues, unfortunately. We'll talk about that in a minute. A slightly yellowed looking AC Soldier, which I believe the yellowing just sometimes happens naturally. It's not necessarily in the sun. Reach shotgun. Ugh. Yes. Yes. My favorite figure from this whole set, and I haven't even looked at it up close. And a Gungnir. So, let me go ahead and get these guys all situated, and we will take a closer look. Alrighty, there we go. Everybody is out. They've all got some weapons. We got our pile of extra bits. So let's just jump in. We're going to start by just working our way through the teams, starting with blue. So the first member of our blue team here is the Spartan Orbital. And this is a nice blue. This is Mega's kind of classic blue color. Orbital is a pretty nice looking armor. I'm not the biggest fan of it, but that's just because I'm not a huge fan of the dome kind of helmets, but I do really like the design overall. Chest plate's really good. I love how much detail these like Halo 4 and 5 figures have. The back plate looks really, really nice. There's a little bit of like speckling and flake in there, which is kind of cool. Right now he is armed with 2 plasma grenades. Unfortunately, the head here is not well printed down at the bottom. That's something that I might be able to repaint, although repainting visors gets a little iffy. And also it does feel like I rubbed my finger on it, and this visor doesn't feel like it was necessarily sealed all the way. Like I don't know, it just feels unfinished, which kind of would make sense if this whole batch of sets was, stuck in the factory forever. Also, he has the hand issue, which is, I'm no stranger to that. I can fix that, but it is kind of a bummer. But yeah, this is very, very cool figure. Basic, but I don't know. It feels very classic Mega to me. The next blue Spartan is a Spartan Aviator, and I really cannot decide if I like this figure or dislike it. Or I should say like this armor or dislike it. The figure is pretty nice. Same blue, very interesting shoulders, very chunky lower legs, almost a little too chunky, very narrow waist, interesting chest plate. The helmet is done pretty well. Visor looks pretty nice. It looks fairly aligned and solid. Aviator is just such an odd helmet. Kind of has like a nose almost. So yeah, I feel like this is one of those armors that people don't love as much. I'm mixed on it, but I don't know. It's kind of nice, even though I'm not sold on the helmet design. And this guy's armed with the plain black spanker piece. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it for this figure. Looks pretty good, and I do like those chunky lower legs. The first member of Red Team is a Spartan Gungnir, looking pretty nice. He shares the same lower legs and thigh armor with the Aviator, that kind of chunky look. Back plate looks really nice. Shoulders are shared with the Orbital. And he's got a saw right now, which is a gray saw, which is awesome. I love this piece. It's so easy to pose with, and the gray color works really, really well. That chest plate's pretty cool, although there is so much detail on it, it's hard to see it all. It almost looks wrinkled. That helmet, I'm not usually a fan of the Halo 4 and 5 Gungnir helmets. They just look a little bit more muddled than the later version, or the earlier versions, I should say. And later, I guess, because Reach and Halo Infinite both have versions of Gungnir, and they look better. However, I do kind of like this one because the gray stripe and the white eyeball contrast really nicely against the red. The white eyeball is a little bit splotchy, but it's very large, and so it's very easy to see. And this red is very speckled. So, yeah, not my favorite helmet, but something about the way that they did it with this red and that print is kind of nice, and I'm kind of on board with it, to be honest. Okay, to be completely transparent, this figure right here is why I bought this set in the first place. This is the last scout that I needed to have all the scouts, and this is the only set that had the lighter red. This guy is exclusive. So yeah, he's instantly my favorite figure of the whole set. I mean, it's Scout. It looks great. Those big shoulders are really cool. There was some black junk on the top of the visor and on the bottom, and when I wiped it off, the visor scratched a bit, which also makes me a bit afraid that this visor could scratch right off. So I think I'm going to have to try to touch that up and seal it just to be sure. Also interesting to note that Mega has never made, or I shouldn't say never, there's 1 or 2 figures with accurately sized scout visors Pretty much all of their generic scouts have this massive visor that's way too big to be accurate to the game, but it still looks pretty awesome, and I'm not really complaining. This guy has a black grav hammer right now, and again, you can see that handle looks pretty normal, so I don't really know why the box shows them with that extra handle. That's a little weird. A little weird. Mega's kind of known for doing that, though. Their renders don't always match the actual sets. The last figure of the set is a bit of an enigma because this guy could be on the red team or he could be on the blue team. We don't really know because he's in active camo and he has a grav hammer, so he's ready to cause some destruction for the enemy team. This is a pretty interesting figure. I'm not always a fan of active camo, but Soldier is just an awesome armor set. I love it. It's interesting, there's kind of bubbles in the chest plate. I haven't seen that on an active camo figure before. Active camo grav hammer we've gotten with a few figures, but it's nice to see on this guy. Overall, I would say this is a pretty nice like bonus figure to the whole setup, and he could be the thing that turns the tide of the battle, depending on which team he's on. As for the extras, you of course get the UNSC flag, which is single-sided, but I'm not really, that's not really bad in my opinion. UNSC logo looks really nice, very sharp. We get it in both red and blue, which is nice to get both flags in a single set. And these are not the same as the CTF Warthog and Base Crashers sets. These are different flags. So that's nice. We get an extra one of these flag cross poles for some odd reason. Don't really know. I will say it was very difficult to push the pegs up into the top part. One thing I do not miss about older Mega, and like we complain about quality control now, but quality control then used to be way more spotty. So it's nice that they've improved a lot. You get stands for every figure, including an active camo stand for the Soldier. You get a gray grav hammer, all ready to smash some enemy Spartans. This is a lot of grav hammers in one set, to be honest. You get clear, black, and gray all in one set, which is pretty snazzy, to be honest. Reach shotgun, kind of out of place, but it's a nice piece. And then a DMR with the like guard on the front. So you get enough weapons to outfit everybody, and then technically if I were to give the Orbital more than just the plasma grenades, you could have 2 weapons left over and have everybody outfitted, which is nice. I wish Mega would do more of the adding just extra weapons into sets, because it's nice to be able to have extra to customize or just equip figures with more weapons, that sort of thing. Well, there you have it. That is the Versus Troop Pack. Kind of obscure with some exclusive versions of figures. Like, I don't think the active camo Soldier came anywhere else. Honestly, I don't know that these guys ever appeared anywhere else in these particular color schemes. Quality-wise, we had an iffy visor there, funky hand. The joints overall are way more loose than figures now, so it feels like old Mega quality control. A little more iffy than now, which I honestly was a bit surprised. I wasn't expecting to feel that much of a difference, but I did. But I gotta say, this is a really nice little set. It's a perfect red versus blue pack, all ready to go. You get both flags, you get plenty of weapons, you get the wild card with the Soldier. It's just really cool. And last I checked, or as of the time of the recording of this video, there is a fair amount available on eBay, and the average price is $30. I felt okay with that price. Sometimes you can get it more like $26. It's a lot, but it is an older Mega set, so it feels less painful than paying that for, say, a newer figure pack or whatever. So I would recommend it. I will leave the links. If I can find good links, I will leave them in the description and the pinned comment. I'm going to try to fix the visors if I can. If I were to rate this out of 10, I would say it's a 9. I would honestly give it a 10 if those quality control issues were not present. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.